Albuquerque firefighters just happen to get sick more often on the weekends, or they're calling in sick when there's nothing wrong with them. Whichever it is costing the city a lot of money. Now we have learned the fire chief is looking at closing some stations from time to time or cutting back on staff. News 13's Alex Tomlin is live downtown with the story.
Diane, since August, sick calls have increased 300% over the weekends. Now, just last weekend, 40 firefighters called in sick, and that means some other firefighters have to work overtime to cover those shifts, which gets costly, very costly. There's either a major virus going around Albuquerque fire stations on the weekends or something else is up. That's what Fire Chief James Breen is saying.
We're about $300,000 overspent.
That's the overtime cost from the other firefighters picking up shifts to pick up the slack.
If the current trend continues, we're going to be $1.2 million over budget on our overtime.
The chief sent this internal memo about the problem, which made its way to us. In it, he makes a scary claim.
Brownouts would be an option.
Brownouts normally mean some fire stations are shut down on occasion, with other stations covering the calls. The chief says it's a far-off option.
One that we should avoid at all costs.
Breen says he was just trying to let the employees know the consequences of continued spending. But a local fire union leader does not agree.
The memo that we felt was in a threatening tone.
The union claims almost a dozen firefighters have retired early after their pay was cut this summer by the Berry administration. The union says those positions haven't been filled, causing the extra overtime. The chief acknowledged the pay cuts are still a problem.
There are some that are probably upset with their pay reductions. We all took a cut, all the administrators and all the firefighters.
The chief wouldn't speculate on what the problem is, but the union insists the anger over their paychecks is not the cause of the sick calls.
The mayor's disrespect for us and our profession has nothing to do with our job.
Now, in August, 4 firefighters didn't show up to a mayor's press conference where he was honoring them for their heroic actions. Those firefighters declined to say why, but a union rep made it well known that it was over the pay cuts. Diane?
All right, thank you, Alex. The chief says he has put a new system in place to review sick calls. It includes requiring doctor's notes and discipline for firefighters who abuse the system.
Albuquerque